This is Valmiki Ramayan, Season 5, Episode 9. The search begins. Sugreev had taken charge now. Following his command, Vanaras from everywhere came to Kishkinda. Valmiki has given a fascinating description of this great Vanara army that came together. For one, it was a massive army. They came by the millions. They were so many that the earth shook. Ushnati Vram Sahasram Shoh Chadayad Gagane Prabham. The dust that was kicked up blocked the sun's rays and dimmed the sky. They came from near and far, from the Vindhya mountains, the western seacoast, and even from the Himalayas. The Vanaras fought with their bare hands and with rocks and tree trunks. There were no chariots and bows and arrows in this army. But what they did have in plenty was strength, stamina, and courage. They were strong like elephants and brave like Indra. Mahendra Samavikramah. While most of the Vanaras were yellowish brown in color, others were dark, pale, or even reddish. And in this army, apart from the Vanaras, there were also people known as Rikshas and Golanguls. The Rikshas dressed like bears, and the Golanguls wore a cow-like tail. Interestingly, the contingent from the Himalayas got with them medicinal herbs and some fruits and roots that inhibited hunger. They also brought flowers as blessings from Lord Shankar's Yagyavedi. Sugreev then went to meet Ram. It was their first meeting after many months. Sugreev walked up to him with folded hands and touched his head at Ram's feet. The army behind saw this and got the message. They also stood with folded hands. Ram embraced him and said affectionately, "A king must divide his time properly between the pursuit of dharma, artha, and kama, ensuring righteousness, creating wealth, and fulfilling desires. A sole focus on enjoying life, kama, never ends well. Anyway, Udyoga Samayah Esha Praptah. It is now time for action." Sugreev replied, "Before, I had nothing. Now I have everything. And it is all because of you. I place this great army at your command." Sugreev then introduced one by one the 27 leaders of his army. These included Nal, Neel, Kesari, Hanuman's father, Jambavan, leader of the Rikshas, Gavaksha, leader of the Golanguls, Tara's father, Ruma's father, and of course, Hanuman and Angad. Sugreev told Ram, "Yuktam Adnya Payitumarhasi. Please give the orders as you think fit." Ram clarified for all those present, "We must find out if Sita is alive or not. And if she is alive, then where has Ravan kept her? Once we know that, we will determine what to do next." Having stated the objective, Ram told Sugreev that it was not for him or Lakshman to give orders to the army. Only Sugreev should do that. And then, Valmiki makes a fascinating turn in his narration. In Sargas 40 to 43 of the Kishkinda Kand, Sugreev gives directions to the teams going east, south, west, and north respectively. Sugreev tells them about the rivers, mountains, kingdoms, and the people they will encounter as they search for Sita. And through Sugreev's words, Valmiki has described the geography of the world as it was known at that time. These 4 sargas are the world atlas, most likely the oldest one in the world. Some names and descriptions are difficult to match with the names on a map today. But other entries in the atlas are easily recognizable. For example, Yavadvipa is the island of Java in Indonesia. Yavadvipam saptarajyopashobhitam suvarna karmanditam. The island of Yava has 7 kingdoms and many gold mines. While talking of different parts of Southeast Asia, Sugreev talks of a great river called Shona, with its reddish and fast-flowing water. Rakta jalam shighhravahinam. Shona means red. Quite possibly, Valmiki's Shona is today's Red River in Vietnam that flows through Hanoi. The Red River is also reddish-brown in color because of the silt it carries, and it floods very often. Interestingly, Valmiki has mentioned that among the peoples inhabiting the east, there are Hemabhah Priyadarshanah, Amaminashanah Dvipavasinah, yellow-skinned, pleasant-looking people who eat raw fish and live on islands.
This is amazing! Sugreev is talking of such distant lands.
Indeed, and Ram thought likewise. He asked Sugreev, "How do you know all this?" Sugreev replied that he had been to many of these lands himself when he was on the run from Vali. Another surprise in these sargas is the mention of rishis and their ashrams beyond the borders of modern-day India. For example, to the west, much beyond the Sindhu-Indus River, Sugreev talks about a place where they will meet the great Maharshi Merusavarni. And in the north, Sugreev talks of a hermitage beyond the Himalayas and Mount Kailash. The team heading east was under the leadership of Vinat. The west team was led by Sushena, Tara's father, and the north team by Shatabali. But the A team was put together to go south. It was led by Angad and included Neel, Jambavan, and Hanuman. Remember, Sugreev had seen Ravan heading for his capital in the south when Sita had dropped her ornaments. Sugreev pulled Hanuman aside and told him, "If there is one person who can find Sita, it is you. I'm counting on you." Ram saw this. Based on what he had come to know of Hanuman, he shared Sugreev's confidence. Therefore, he gave Hanuman his ring, which had his name inscribed on it. "When you meet Sita, show this ring. She will know that you come as a friend." To all the search parties, Sugreev instructed that they must come back in 1 month. And he promised that the one who says, "I have found Sita," will live the rest of his life in luxury. Go now and find Sita wherever she may be. Jumping and roaring with confidence, the Vanaras then set off to search for Sita. Iti her asa. That is how it happened.